Welcome to the Gamescape, everybody. My name's Jarek, and today we are back in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. This is episode 100 of our playthrough, the big 100. And in our previous episode, we found our way down here to this puzzle room. And this is another one of the ones that is just like the Conundrum Unsolved, where we have to put the tiles in place. The outside tiles give us a couple of little tiny hints, but the rest of it was up to us. And so I spent a decent amount of time in here trying to figure this out. And I actually did figure it out on my own. Believe it or not, it took a little bit and I had to do a little bit of work, but I did get it figured out. So I haven't finished it yet. Actually, I quick saved and I finished it to make sure I was right. And then I reloaded my save because I didn't want to come to you guys with the wrong solution. So I did double check and it is correct. So I'll go over how I did it so that you can kind of get an idea for yourself. I did have to do a little bit of counting of the tiles that we had to kind of take an inventory of what we had. And it turned out that, so what I do is I just keep track of the tiles by how many of these little circles they have on them, right? And so we've got the old one that has, well, we have a 0, right? So we've got this one here that doesn't have any circles on it. We've got this one that kind of looks like a little bit like a horse or a saw blade there with a 1. We've got a 2, which is this one here, or this one here. We have a 3, which is this one right here. And then we had a new one that has also 1, but it's got a new symbol on it. So this is our new 1 circle 1. This one wasn't in the other puzzle. And so what I kind of finally figured out was that this row not only had a 2 in it, it had all of the 2s in it. The entire row was 2s. I also noticed that we had, so of the 0 tiles, the tiles with 0 circles on them, we only had 3 of those total, and they were all blue. And so that told me that the colors didn't really matter, right? It's just because we didn't have a 4th one to match up the right color with on the one that ended up being the same color. So that was fine. The ones with the old ones with the 1 had 5 total, which is quite a few. The 2s had 6 total, which told me this was probably right because this takes a lot of tiles right here to fill all this out correctly. And then the ones with 3 tiles or 3 circles, there were 5 of these tiles. Now, interestingly enough, too, the new 1, the 2, and the 3 each had a double tile. Now, we saw this in the last episode, but there are a couple of squares on this board that must have the double. This is one of them because it's buttoned up against 2 other tiles and it's forming a square. And then the other one is this one right here, which is the same situation. It's butting up against 2 other tiles here as well. And so these 2, this one here and this one here, had to be a double. Okay. Now there's 3 doubles. And so that made things a little bit more complicated. Here's the 3rd one right here. This one didn't have to be a double. It just had to work out that way to finish the puzzle out. So it took a little while to kind of figure this out. But what I found out, and again, I did figure this out on my own. I didn't look it up. I admitted in the last one I had to look it up. This one I played with it till I got it right. So this is the 2 row, which means this entire row here is all 2s. And so I set that up to make it that way. And this one up here has a 1, a 3, and a 2. Now there is no tile that's 3 and 2 on the same tile. And so this wasn't in order because I looked and there's no tile that had a 3 and a 2 on it. And so this then told me this must be this column here, if you want to call this columns and this rows, I guess. This column had to have only a 1, a 3, and a 2, which means this new 1 circle symbol didn't fall in there at all. And neither did the 0 circle one. And so that kind of gave me enough information to go, right? So this one had to be the 2, and then we were able to kind of solve it from there. We knew there couldn't be a 1, or a 0 rather, in this row. And the way the tiles worked out, there were doubles, or there were 2 of the same ones of the 2 0, the 2 0, and then the 1 1, the 2 1. So 2 2 1s, 2 2 0s finished out the square, and that one worked out okay. We had the double, and then we only had 1 2 left over, so it had to be here with the new one. Okay, and then from there we knew this had to be a new 1, And so we had to have something with a 1 and a new 1. So there was one of those tiles, and we knew that was okay. So these two fit in. And then this one was the tricky one, right? This had to be either, well, we were down to just a few. We had a new one and a 3, or a new one double here. And so that was how it ended up doing. The 3 had to be here because it had to butt up against this one. And so we got these into place. And then after that, these two, there was only one left that had the old 1 circle, and there was only one left that had the 3 circle. And so I dropped those into place. I know that's a really weird explanation, and if you didn't follow all of that, it's probably okay. Just know that these 3 tiles here mean that these are the only tiles that are in this column right here. And this one right here with the 2 means that this is all 2s across this particular row. So if you know that, and you know that this tile and this tile have to be doubles, then you'll probably be able to figure it out from there. So that was what we did. Let me go drop this last one into place, and let's go see what's going on. I have not gone any further than this. I just went so far enough to open the door, and then I reloaded. So I don't have any idea what's up here. So moving on here, get the party caught up. Finally got that fixed. The bad thing is we have a set of green tiles in our inventory too, which means we're going to have to do this at least one more time. All right, what's in here? We got some loot. What do we got? We got a star knife, which we're not really using, but cool. Anyway, it's a +3. Got some elven notes for the storyteller. We got a little turquoise there, so that's good. Over here, we have a little gold and a crappy mace that we don't care about. And here we got a few potions. Protection from Sonic, Move Curse, Magic Fang Greater. And that appears to be it. A lot of work for a bunch of little worthless magic items, I'm not gonna lie. Last time there was a dude that popped up and we could talk to him. Is there anything else that we can search? Yeah, last time there was a ghost guy that came in here and he told us about the Heart of Mystery, but apparently not the case this time, I guess. Let's double check in here one more time just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Holding down the tab key. All this stuff is closed up now. This is still open because I left a mace in there. Nothing we can do with this statue thing here. All right, guys, I think we just kind of came in here for not any real big reason, unless there's somebody waiting outside for us, which is possible. But this is it. There's nothing else in here. So let's head back outside. Okay. Have a look around. Yeah, that's the edge of the map. That's all the farther we can go there. Can we get up there maybe? This is over here is where we came in. Doesn't look like we have any way to get up there. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Nope. Maybe over here. We could theoretically dimension door up there, but I don't have anybody with dimension door in this party, and we used our scroll in the last couple adventures. So, all right. Well, I guess we're done here. I really feel like that was a lot of work for not much reward, but that's okay. What do we do? Let's get out of here. Okay, guys, here we are. Core of the Riddle, leaving here. And I don't want to do the Ivory Sanctum yet. We have a demon army here. We can't get over to them though. It looks like if we come up here, we can't get down. This looks like a big cliff. So I'm not real keen on heading up that way, I don't think. Do we just teleport back to Dresden? I mean, we're almost done. I mean, let's have a look at our journal. Let's see what we have left here. We have the Outcast that we have to finish up this one. So this is find Caelessa. Forn, a hunter, the servants of evil, is reported a dangerous cultist by the name of Caelessa is hiding in Canabras. He described her remarkable appearance, gray hair, dark skin, scarlet eyes, and warned us just how deadly she can be in a fight. Now, we went back to Canabras, and there was nothing there. When we got there, there were no places that we could enter except for the Neathholm, basically, where the mongrels live, or lived anyway. So she's not there anymore, and I don't know. We can look for Forn. Maybe he's in the castle. We could maybe take a look around and see if we can find him and talk to him again, and maybe get a clue from him. But this is looking pretty not great because I haven't seen any clues for this for a long time. The other one is Know Thy Enemy. This is Explore the Ivory Sanctum, so that's fine. That'll finish up this, I think. These are ones we missed because of the mess up that I did at the thing. Oh, we do still have to go do the extirpators camp. That's true. So we'll have to go back to Dresden, get Social, and head down there and do that. Middle game will get finished up, I think, when we do the Ivory Sanctum. Right now we are. I don't know if we have to continue this. Every aspect is important. We want to achieve victory in the war. The commander and his advisor need to comprehensively modernize the war machine known as the Crusade. Every aspect is important: discipline, supplies, alliances, and combat strength. So that's showing not complete. So I don't know exactly what that means, but okay. And then aside from that, we have In Pursuit of the Past. Storyteller seeks pages of Elden script. Yep. And so we have one of those for him. Then we have Restoring an Ancient Cloak, which we are still looking for 5 vials of magic essence, 2 bars of cold iron, 2 vials of demon's blood, 3 hides of magical creatures. I don't think we have any of those yet. But that's not one that's marked with an hourglass, so that doesn't have to be completed, and neither does Pursuit of the Past. So those two will continue on into the next act. Finian's Awakening will as well. So basically we have to go take care of Social's little side quest here. And then we also have this one, The Wayward. The mob loves a wretch, feeble-minded, hysterical, starry-eyed preacher. This is Ember they're talking about. Let's see. Will any of them listen? Will they do as they're told? The obvious conclusion, of course they won't. But let's leave our biases aside as we observe how the throngs of Dresden respond to the exhortations of a ragged elf girl. So maybe we need to talk to her again when we get back there. So we'll take a look at that. So we'll get back there. We'll talk to her. We'll grab Social. We'll head to the extirpators camp. And we'll also need to look for Vorn, the elf, so that we can finish up this thing with Caelessa. So Forn is who we need to look for as well. All right, so we need to head back to Dresden. We got 2 little side quests to do, then grab Social and head south is what we're going to do. So let's do that. Let's teleport to Dresden. And let's head on in. Okay, Nevia's here. Says, hold up, Commander. The thing is, remember how that Crusader went missing a while back and then he was found outside the city walls disemboweled? Nevia pauses, giving you a searching look. Yeah, we remember. No, we haven't found the murderer yet. Nevia seems to scrutinize your face and then nods to herself. But I never gave up on the investigation, and even when everybody else stopped digging, I know we're at war and that people are dying left and right, but that's no reason to turn a blind eye to crime. And so that's it, Commander. Another Crusader's just gone missing. He left the barracks to come here. He would have gone past the gates, but my gut tells me the killer won't keep him alive for long. So, Commander, you need to start searching this area right now and try and find out where he's been taken. Okay? I suspect this is our killer, Caelessa. Okay, this is quite unexpected. Death often shows up when you least expect it. It's not like I picked the timing. All right, well, tell me about the Missing Crusader. He's the youngest son of a poor nobleman from Mendev. He's called something like Rillic or Riliac. He's young, barely out of the nursery, and he decided that he was a man now and so off to where he went. You know how it goes. Okay. Do you know who the murderer is? Obviously not, but we'll ask. I don't have a clue. Enevi's answer comes too quickly, her gaze dropping before she can force herself to meet your eyes. All right, what are you not telling me? I'm telling you the truth and nothing but the truth. I have my own theories, sure, but nothing concrete. So it's best if I kept my mouth shut on that front. Let's see. I don't think that's true. I'm not going to say that. All right, we'll look for him. Get going then. He passed the gates and took a right. Ask around, checking out the buildings. I'll be waiting for you here. He passed the gates and took a right. Ask around, check out the buildings. Okay. Well, there's an abandoned building over here. Wonder if that's something to do. He passed the gates and took a right. So presumably he went in and took a right, because I think if we go out, we can't go anywhere. So presumably that means he came in and then he took a right. Anybody we can talk to here? Here's an abandoned building. Let's check the abandoned building. There's a loot chest here. It's got a shiny chitin in it. Okay, nothing in here. Did see something over here. Aha! Loot first. It's a book. Soldier Humor, 5th edition, revised and expanded. Yeah, that doesn't seem that great. Okay, let's have a look here. A man's clothes are heaped on the floor. They were taken off in a hurry. A thick layer of dust lying untouched on the table for years has been wiped away in the middle of the tabletop. So somebody's been in here recently. Okay, something in the basement. Okay, what do we got? Crooked paw. I think we need that for anything probably, but hear a muffled sighs coming from the next room.
How lovely to see you here.
Hearing steps behind her, Camillia whips around and freezes. She glances at the bloody dagger in her hand and then at the dead body at her feet. Valric, how lovely to see you here, she says evenly. Her lips quiver for a fraction of a second before settling into an unimpeachably polite smile. What are you doing?
Socorus is an ancient land. The spirits of these places have spoken to people since time immemorial, and some of those people heard them and were able to respond. The shamans of Socorus were always held in high esteem. They knew the will of the spirits, the will of the land itself. Many Khalids would come to the shamans to learn what the spirits desired in order to gain their support.
Camillia pauses, lost in memories that cannot be her own. We'll just wait.
When the world wound opened and the demons poured into Galarian, they drowned Socorus in blood. The earth moaned as it soaked up the blood of Khalids, crusaders, and demons. The spirits drank this blood, slowly becoming deranged and turning into incarnations of madness and pain. Look what Socorus has turned into. It's an open wound on the body of Galarian. The world wound has changed it beyond all recognition. And the spirits, these poor creatures have been corrupted. Twisted by war, they moan and they howl, but only shamans can hear their senseless cries of agony.
I'm not hearing a whole lot so far that's justifying murders here.
I am a shaman.
Yeah.
Maria, the spirit I am bonded with, is mad and can speak of nothing but her endless hunger for blood. I give her what she asks for. I feed her the blood of crusaders.
Well, that's great. Camillia seems suddenly to falter. Her breathing grows heavy, her pupils dilate.
The spirits of Socorus can no longer speak to shamans. All I can hear is the cacophony of their howls, screams, and laments. But there is a way to restore their sanity. By performing rituals. Bloody but effective rituals. When the untainted blood of the Crusaders cleanses the corruption that Maria fed on for centuries, the spirit will regain her sanity, and I shall be able to speak to her. I shall be able to ask her advice, to find out how we can heal the world wound. Tell me, isn't this knowledge worth a handful of lives?
Yeah, how many of these have you killed?
Too few. Maria's hunger is still so great. Her pain cannot be soothed by a single victim. But success is within my grasp. I can feel it. It is even possible that today's victim will be the last.
Yeah, okay, this is really bad. Who's Maria?
Forgive me, I forgot to make the introductions. This is Maria. Or rather, this is her home. Or her prison, to call a spade a spade. I caught this spirit a long time ago, and I tried for so long to speak with it. My little demented ball of rage. I felt compelled to bind it to this amulet, just temporarily, until I worked out how to help it.
Camillia sighs sadly.
If I am to be fully honest, her name, Maria, is of my own devising. She is not yet able to speak to me, but I still needed a name to call her by.
The girl gently puts the amulet back around her neck. What are you hoping to learn from her?
The world wound cannot be allowed to poison all the lands of Galarian. The spirits of Socorus know this better even than you and I. They may know how to heal it. And if not, then perhaps they will know how to eradicate it quickly and painlessly. We're fighting against demons. It is a just cause. But imagine we win and the demons vanish for good. Do you think the world wound will vanish along with them? That it's something we can defeat with weapons? That it won't burst open again at some point in the future like an old festering abscess? I am thinking of the future of these lands, of how to heal them and restore them. Would you not agree that a few Crusaders' lives is a price worth paying?
Not really. Why do you think this is going to work at all?
I do not think. I know. I sense things many people cannot. I can infer what the spirits want. For example, there is one spirit hanging over your left shoulder as we speak. It came to enjoy Maria's victim. Can you sense its hunger?
Yeah, she's kind of gone off the deep end.
Spirits are akin to animals. You cannot bring a hungry dog to heal. You cannot stroke a hungry cat. To speak to a spirit, you must first feed it. It is not their fault that after so many years of torment, the only thing that can satisfy their hunger is blood. My ritual will work. I did not read about it in books or learn it from some wizened teacher. You could say that I invented it myself, with Maria's help. I just know that it will work, sooner or later. I can feel it. He's the
Who's this
youngest
guy?
son of a noble from Mendiv. I believe his name was...
Oh, I already asked that.
Or Relic. I think the dolt was in love with me. He was ever so eager to come with me to this house. One hint was all it took. He is of no interest to me. Maria wanted his blood, so I sacrificed him. The rest is immaterial.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I knew she was evil from pretty far back, but holy mackerel. Let's hear what she's proposing, and then we're gonna kill her.
My ritual is not yet complete. I have made the sacrifice. Now I just have to let Maria drink the blood. Will you allow me to complete the ritual?
Ooh. That's a tough one. That's a chaotic thing, which we're trying to kind of stay away from at this point. She's decked out pretty good with good equipment too. She's going to be a tough fight. I can take her, but it's going to be not an easy one. Do we let her complete it now that the dude's dead? Kind of not a good thing to do, I don't think, although it doesn't specifically say it's evil. Well, we can let her complete the ritual and then we can kill her. Swear that you'll stop the killings and I will spare you this time, or complete your ritual. I don't know, guys. I'm not sure what to do here. I kind of want to just, let her have it right now, but at the same time, I don't know if it worked, it would be something. But then we have to leave her, let her live. So, boy, I don't know. She's a really good member of the party. I hate to do this, but I think we have to. I think we have to take her in.
You wish to kill me? Do your worst, Commander.
Camilla's expression shifts for an instant. Her eyes narrow to slits and her lips tremble from barely veiled excitement.
Save the last one for me.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Of course, I got her, I got her last stand, of course. Oh, too funny. Do we get some help out here? Yeah, I think it probably wouldn't hurt to get some help. Oh, that was easy. Critical. The sneak attack was definitely good. Oh, fine. Just give me all the stuff. I was not expecting that exactly. Okay. Well, that's something. Guess we found who the killer is, although that doesn't help us with this Killessa problem either. All right, we're done in here. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. She was a really, really strong member of the party. But can't have just murders for murder's sake, can we? All right. Anevia stretches lazily and yawns, but her eyes are fixed on you. Well, Commander, have you solved the problem? All right. What do you know about this crime exactly? Be honest. Crime? What crime? Anevia says with a smirk before becoming deadly serious. Listen, Commander. I was just using my brain, following certain individuals, listening to what people were saying in the street. I had my suspicions, but what are suspicions worth? On their own? Nothing. I didn't have any proof. I'm not Erebeth. I'm not going to go digging for the truth, because if I dug deep enough, the Knight Commander would be down a companion, smack bang in the middle of a war. How would that help anything? I'm not going to be the one to scupper this crusade, so I'll be keeping my mouth shut. Anevia speaks slowly, staring into your eyes. I trust that you'll handle this in whatever way is best for the crusade. If you want to tell Arabeth everything, go ahead. It's your call. It's been solved. That's all I needed to know. Thanks, Commander. All right. Well, there we go. Murder solved, down a companion. Not great. Not great any way you look at it. All right. Let's head up here to where Ember is. And let's see if we can solve this little thing that's left here. All right. People in the city seem to like your sermons. Are those sermons? I just tell people things. Simple things. Anyone can figure them out. People are much cleverer than me, but they listen to me and they say thank you after. I'm probably just a pretty voice. All right, I'm going to have to click through a few things here. Actually, I wonder if I can talk to any of these others. I'm going to click through these and see if there's anything new. We've already read through this, so I'm not going to read through them. I just want to make sure there's nothing new here. Nothing new there. Okay, let's have a go here. Okay. Yeah, they seem to like her. She speaks so beautifully, I'm tearing up. Girl has a way with words. Speaks beautifully. What's this ragamuffin blathering on about? Boo, chase her away. Girl has a way with words. Speaks beautifully. Speaks beautifully. Has a way with words. I mean, that's really all there is. The Wayward, I think, is that one. Yeah, it just says wait to see how things unfold. Mob loves a wretch. The obvious conclusion is they won't, but let's leave our biases aside as we observe the throngs of Dresden respond to the exhortations of a ragged elf girl. So, I mean, there's nothing else here, so I don't know. All right, so nothing we can do that. It's just what it is. Let's go to the map. Let's see if we can find... Okay, we don't have a map. Why don't we have a map? I don't know. Well, yeah, just not coming up with the map. I think what I'll do is I'll just run inside the Citadel real quick and then come back out, and then we can look and see. Because the map is messed up for some reason. So is all this. What is going on with this? We'll just run inside, let it reload. Let's see if that fixes anything up. Okay, I guess we have business. Courier. The mage standing before you, wrapped in a torn cloak that somehow appears to be dripping wet on one side, yet faintly smoldering on the other, wearily says, "It is my pleasure to inform you that I represent the Absalom Runner's magical courier service. I have a package addressed for you. I regret to inform you that there are a few minor complications in transit, causing the delivery to be slightly delayed." The magnificent and glittering golem, encrusted with gems and covered in intricate flowery embossing, triumphantly exclaims, "Happy to be of service. May Shaylin brighten and vivify your day." What is it? A golem. The mage consults his notebook. Half of it, to be specific, as the other half seems to have been bitten off. A prestidigipane. It's either a painter or painful. Prestidigitator Golem, most likely. Delivery to the headquarters of the Fifth Crusade, sent by the Temple of the Sunrise Chrysanthemums, Tianzia. The sender is the Temple's prior, a cleric, Shilin, of the name of Osagure. Prior Osagre has instructed me to convey that worshippers of the Lady of Chrysanthemums sent you their warmest regards, and that they have faith that you will defend Galarian from the demonic hordes, and may Shailen brighten and vivify your day. Are you a battle golem? A weapon of war? I was not designed for any type of combat, yet I can bring beauty and harmony to any type of combat. All right, talking to the mage. Who are you? Mlekik Pence, courier first class of the Absalom Runners Magical Courier Service, at least until I make it to our office and inform them of my resignation. A hysterical spark lurks in the mage's gaze. I take it your mission wasn't an easy one. What happened? Idly scratching at a smoking bald patch on his head, the mage replies, a shipping error, wrong portal, wrong plane of existence. Many evil, hungry, vile... With a weary sigh, he stops himself. I apologize. How unprofessional of me. There were no incidents whatsoever during my delivery. I thank you for the delivery. With a weary sigh, the mage quickly says, have a nice day and consider using Absalom Runners for all your magical delivery needs. Happy to be of service, and may Shailen brighten and vivify your day. All right. Now we have a golem. Rhea Neath, an old half-elf woman, bows to you. She's stately despite her years, with gray strands in her carefully combed hair and graceful figure. Rhea Neath, representative of Ferdazzle and Company Trading House in Erosion, at your service. The woman hands you a business card printed with an expensive paper with gold lettering. I have a formal offer from the merchants of Dresden regarding the procurement of construction materials and a more personal matter, which I'm afraid only you can help me with. All right, we have Rhea's business card. Do you want to trade here? Yes, for a while. I have product samples of what our trading house has to offer. If you need something, you'll easily find me in the fortress. But to be honest, I can discuss supplies with your subordinates. All right, well, what's this personal matter? Rhea looks around. I would prefer not to talk about it here. Please find me in the fortress, then we'll talk. All right, well, find you when I have time. Thank you. Okay, well, I mean, the fortress is like 3 rooms here, so how far can she have gone? Maybe she's outside. Who knows? I don't really know. All right. Anything else? Let's take a look at our crusade real quick. Okay, the Sword of Valor, the great relic of the Crusades, mysteriously changed upon coming into contact with Commander. What does this mean? Clerics Wizards could shed some light on the properties, so we've had them research it. It says the researchers were divided on exactly what happened to the Sword of Valor. However, they did point out that the banner had belonged to Iomade back in her mortal life, and that it had gained miraculous properties, as if anticipating the ascension of its owner to divinity. Could its current change be an indication of the Commander's great future? That's a lot of time studying for no real answers. Honestly, I don't know what I think about that, to be completely honest with you. We got 1 ransom coming up. We got a few things that we could do. What is this? This gives us... Those who do not seek to know their enemy and fail to forge new paths to victory will inevitably fail. The secret of success lies in officers' steadfast focus on strategy, the ability to learn from past experiences, and the preparation of soldiers for future battle. 1 day to solve. We might as well do that. Logistics reform. Every piece of land the Crusaders seized from the demons puts additional load on the logistics and supply channels connecting the Crusade's troops. In order to maintain this tight network of experienced officers are required to implement reforms to logistic processes. This also takes 1 day, so we will go ahead and do that. We have Heaven Warriors, Angels Alliance of Clerics' Fervent Prayers, and Descend to the Land of Mortals to stand against the demonic hordes. Requires 2 days to solve. Has it already gone 5 days? This takes 80 energy, but we have plenty. Let's get some more, I guess. And that's all we can do for right now. For that. So that's all of those. We have a rank up. Okay, we'll have to do some of this stuff here, I guess, in a day. In fact, we can just skip a day. Oh, we have to get our soldiers down to the other port there. Okay, dwarves have delivered payments for their golem. We get 12 shield bearers and 1,500 finance points. Crusaders' logistics have been reformed. The Logistics Council requests that the Crusade leader attend their meeting and receive an updated report. I'm sure that'll happen as soon as we duck out of the screen. Development of the art of war. The combat effectiveness of the Crusader army has increased. Military Council requests that the Crusade leader attend the meeting and receive a report. Okay. Fine. Let's see. This will get us more money, it looks like. This is also a 1 day to solve. Development. We can outpost to Bastion Expansion. Okay, so if we wanted to upgrade an outpost to a Bastion, we need 500 materials. One fort of the outpost level with at least 3 out of 4 construction slots filled can be upgraded to a Bastion level. This takes 7 days. By upgrading, Commander, will expand his territories as well as allow the construction of advanced structures there. Okay. So we could buy 500 materials. What do we have now? We have 273, so it wouldn't cost that much to just buy them. So if we bought like 300, that's 7,800. We have tons of gold, so we might as well do this, I think. And then I would like to, well, they can't do it right now. They have to wait till logistics is done tomorrow. So we'll wait till tomorrow for that, and that's fine. All right, so we need to get the campaign. We need to get our second army. And we need to get some more guys in here because I think we just got another set of, shield bearers that she's going to absorb. Looks good. And she's, she has room for another stack. I don't want to split. I want to integrate. Who do we want to bring in? We could bring in some spearmen who aren't really that good. We could bring in these rangers. They're decent. We could bring in, there's not very many of them. That's really our only choices. We want to bring in these rangers, give her some extra bows. I think so. I think we do want to do that. So we can set a formation here. I've kind of figured out as we've been going here. In fact, you know what we could do is something like this, actually. And stick them all in the corner and have all of our bowmen protected from any attacks coming in. I think that seems like a good idea. Okay, good there. And then you need to hotfoot it down here to Stone Maze. Luckily, it's close because this army's coming and they're going to get to us in about a day and a half, it looks like. That's okay. Okay, these guys here, let's finish that exploration up there. And let's have a look-see down this way. Okay, this is looking awfully ugly already. Let's see, finance points times 200. I could probably take them. These guys up here, a little tougher. These guys down here, I don't think I can't cross this, I don't think. So I'd probably, if I took this southern path, I'd probably come down and hit these guys. Extra 200 finance points isn't the worst, and we should be able to take this fight, I think. I don't think this will be a problem. We have a bunch of drakes there, but rift drakes and cultists and lots of cultists. Cultists can hurt us pretty bad once each. The Rift Drakes, I don't really know what they do. They're immune to, they have acid resistance, can't be slept or paralyzed, which isn't a big deal. They do decent damage, 2 attacks, lots of hit points. Then there's 100 of them. So that's what, 17,000 damage we'd have to do to these guys. I don't know if I want to do that right now. Let's back them out of here. Okay, no more points left there. I think we're done here. Okay, council meeting time. Nevi looks surprised. Commander, what's your succubus spell done this time? What are you talking about? You don't know either, huh? Weird. Who gave the order then? You're gonna have to be more specific. Rushle's locked up in Dresden's dungeon. I tried to find out who gave the order to jail her and who carried it out, but I came up empty-handed. What's the story there then? If you ask me, there's one or two things. Either it was you who secretly ordered her arrest, or it was Rushle herself, and she just felt like locking herself up in a cell. Which one seems more likely? Have you noticed anything odd about her recently? I suppose I have. She's been even more secretive than usual. Before, my people would spot her every now and then as she observed the ordinary folk going about their business, but lately she's been spending most of her time holed up somewhere in the outskirts of the city, away from people. Oh, and one more thing. Believe it or not, but one of my spies swears he heard her crying out there on their own. All right, I'll talk to her. All we know is that we know nothing at all. Talking to her might be a good idea. I'm rooting for a redemption just like you, but who can tell what's going on inside the head of a demon who's trying to turn good? Okay. Dorgolinda Stranglehold. Hail! Dorgolinda Stranglehold salutes you with her bad hand. Amidst the critical shortage of supplies, a number of soldiers who call themselves the Fellows of the Crusade have set up a black market in the army. They steal everything that's not nailed down, trade medicine for swords, and spell scrolls for tobacco and rations. They know better than to ask for anything from command, so they take care of themselves. And if something's not happy with the trade, out come the knives. I don't know how to deal with it except by alleviating the shortage of essential supplies. We should press Mendev for more deliveries, and we need to sort out our storage, build some decent warehouses. Right now, it's a thieves' paradise. An underground market, huh? What's so bad about that? Let them trade things. Let's authorize it. Then there won't be a black market. It'll just be a normal, legit market. If someone is in need of something, we should be the ones who must provide it. We are the ones who must provide it. We should ask the priests of many different gods. They have wealth and influence. Maybe they can help. You thought I was joking when I said our soldiers would soon need our experience of surviving in the caves? Well, here we are. This is the day. Time to live off the land. I'll teach your fighters how to survive on barren rocks, and they won't have any need for a black market. All right. What's going on with all these? Market increase. Finance points income by 20 and material points by 1. Only one market can be built in each fort. So we can build a market if we do this. If we take a Rushle's advice, Shrine increases energy points income by 1 and finance income by 10. Only one shrine. Land says Salvager's Outpost increases materials and energy points. Income by 1. Only one Salvager. Salvager's Post can be built. And then warehouses increase finance point income by 100 if it's built next to an inn. Material points income by 1 if it's still built next to a supply center. And energy points if it's built next to a sanctuary. Only one warehouse can be built in each fort. We have a couple of inns built, I think. We have one at least. I don't know if we've built more than one. Finance points by 20, material points by 1 for a market. That's not bad. It's not great. Energy by 1, finance by 10. Let's do the warehouse, I think. Because I don't know if any of these are better than the others. Materials and energy by 1. Yeah, let's do the warehouse because then we can kind of select. Okay, affirmative. I'll latch on to them and I won't let go until you give us everything we need. And I'll organize for new warehouses to be ready for when the supply caravans arrive. Guarded warehouses. Thank you for making the call, Commander. I'll report all further developments directly to you. If we run into anything else that requires your attention, I'll immediately convene a council. Okay, one more. Commander, we've managed to defeat Koremzida's host. The remnants of his army have retreated to lick their wounds, and we must use this opportunity to go on the offensive. But right now, our army is not fully prepared to begin such an expedition. The farther we advance into the enemy territory, the more we'll need a strong and mobile cavalry. I propose we replenish our forces with light cavalrymen. Mendev would offer us plenty. Sela says, there are many lone paladins in Golarion like me who travel and help when needy. Shall we call them out to our aid? Cavalry is a crucial element of an army, one that's difficult to replace. Mendevian knights often sacrifice their defense in favor of offensive power, and it's time to put an end to this wastefulness. All riders must be encased in heavy cuirassier armor, so as to avoid unnecessary losses. All right, so we can get paladins, we can get cuirassiers. I think that's how you say that. Cuirassiers, maybe. Or we can get mounted scouts. All mounted scouts are promoted to light cavalry. What does light cavalry give us? They are 81 hit points. They have not the best damage. Cold iron spears plus 14 and plus 9. Their armor class 16 with 81 hit points. These guys are much tougher. 377 hit points, 23 armor class, but they don't do a lot of damage. They have damage reduction 3 as well, except for slashing, pierce. Oh, against. I'm not sure if that's what they get it against or if those are the exceptions. Slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning. They're tough. Holy mackerel, are they tough. They're probably super expensive too. D8 plus 6 for 7 to 14 damage. Whereas light cavalry was 5 to 12, D8 plus 4. We would just have a lot more of them, that's all. But they're paladins. We've already seen the paladins. I don't know if I'm particularly excited about them, although we only have 2, so I guess that's not really a fair shake. Armor class 18, 91 hit points. They do a lot of damage, and they have lay on hands, so that's a little more healing. They're probably going to be super expensive too. 15 to 22. The cuirassiers are less damage, way more hit points. I'm inclined to go with the really heavy cavalry, but the paladins seem like they would be good too. Let's go in the middle. Let's take the paladins. Right? I don't know. Tough call. I'm worried that these guys, we're going to only be able to get a few of them, and they're only going to be these damage sponges, and they're not going to actually be able to hurt anything. I like the paladins. They're a good mix. Okay? I haven't let you down, and neither will they. With that, this meeting of the military council is adjourned. I'll brief the officers on the expected reinforcements immediately and see to it that available stables are expanded and properly refitted. Okay, there we go. Done with that. I need to go find lady, whoever, what's her name was. She better not be in my quarters. She's not. We're almost getting up on an hour here, guys. I just got a couple little more things I want to do here before we check out for this episode. All right, let's get back to the streets. Seeking forgiveness. The prison. We have Arushale imprisoned. Let's start here. Okay, we need to talk to the storyteller because we have at least one more elven note for him. Okay, I found a page that might interest you. Yes, you are right. Another piece of evidence from the past I've forgotten. The expression becomes withdrawn. Thank you. If you find more pages like this, I have another one, apparently. Okay. The storyteller clenches the pages you brought. His voice becomes a bit younger and more energetic. It's been 2 years since I started to serve the darkness. She found me in the ivory labyrinth, her gaze piercing through all my protective spells as if I had been cast by an untrained apprentice rather than the last archmage of Keonan. She is powerful and insidious. She's the perfect assassin. Her name is Nocticula. She invited me to Lushinra, the city of demons in the depths of the abyss, the capital of the Midnight Isles. The Lady in Shadow highly values my ability to remain unnoticed. Kneeling before her throne, I listened to her praise and felt like a child being given a pat on the head for doing some simple chore for the first time. But this is no longer important. Now I serve a demon lord, for this is our agreement. She will help me decrypt the scribbles I copied from the Ivory Labyrinth. In return, I will serve as her court mage and spy for the next 17 years. Now, Lushinra is my home, and Nocticula is my lady in shadow. Tell me about your life in Lushinra. Of all the places in the abyss, Lushinra is the most civilized. My lady wants to make her capital the face of the abyss, a place travelers from other planes can visit without too much fear. I don't care. I am here only to complete my service and get the promised reward and return to Golarion. However, strange as it may be, Lushinra's demons treat me honorably. They hate me, sometimes growl at me, but they never attack. I prepared many spells and I'm ready to use them at any moment, but I have had no reason to yet. I have my own tower in the upper city, not far from my lady's palace. I've strengthened it with protective spells and set golems to guard it. I created the portal of Golarion at the top of the tower, one which only I can use. It will be my escape route if I need to flee urgently. I expect an attack every day, but it never happens. This might sound ridiculous and surprising, but I think the demons of Lushinra respect me. You trusted a demon lord? My lady in shadow has no reason to hide the truth from me. She does not care about my research. She offered me help out of curiosity. I am something of a bizarre pet to her, both funny and useful. Storyteller shakes his head. She offered to help, and I agreed. I must thank my lady for her generosity. 17 years of service for translating 17 phrases from Baphomet's Labyrinth. A bargain. Please continue. Storyteller stays silent for a short while as if listening to something. I can't smell anything but sewage. I can hear some demon snores or death rattles. Hidden by a cocoon of spells, I keep invisible watch on a dirty alley in Lushinra's lower city. Two winged shadows sweep past overhead, and a terrible stone-splitting shriek rolls like a tide through the streets, but it can't hurt me. I know the ways of this city and have protected myself from Valexia's wild antics. My voluntary partner, a young half-elf named Kinney, sighs loudly and says yet again, "They are not coming." I shrug, just as I've done every time before. "I'm not keeping you." Kinney frowns and turns away in response. I sneak a look at my friend. The unruly locks fall over his face. Kinney carelessly sweeps them out of his eyes, thinking about something. I find myself enjoying his gentle movements, and I look away, embarrassed. Have a little more patience, my friend. Soon our goal will be here. I am sure of it. Okay, you mentioned Valexia. Tell me about her. The storyteller answers with reluctant admiration. The maddest succubus of all those born of the abyss. Even my lady in shadow can't but smile upon hearing the latest mayhem she stirred up for fun. Surrounded by her 3 succubi friends, known as the Sinners, she flies naked over the city, crushing buildings with her raging screams, grabbing poor passersby, taking them up in the air and dashing them down onto the rocks, getting into raging fights with no rhyme or reason. Truly, Valexia is the bane of Lushinra, but also its wild heart. I didn't expect to find out you had a partner. Storyteller face lights up and a timid smile appears on his lips. I didn't expect it either. Kinney is from Golarion, just as I am. He is a thief and a former slave. He escaped from the Cyclopes of the dying empire. I met him before I left Golarion for the Abyss in my old tower. A thief who thought who sought not my life, but shelter, a place to spend the night, and protection from his former masters. My charms worked. Kinney couldn't get past the ground floor of the tower. That's where I found him, sitting on the floor, entangled in my trap's living vines. I freed the hapless thief. I wasn't angry at his intrusion. I was even glad to talk with this restless youth of the short-lived folk. I had no idea how much I missed companionship. After that, Kinney often spent the night in my tower, partaking in my hospitality. Together, we lived through the terror of Earthfall, and when the time came, I took him with me to the Abyss. Recently, he's even helped me carry out some of my lady's tasks. Those that give him the opportunity to make some money. Does he know about your goal to save Galarian? Oh yes, we've discussed my plans many times, sitting on the top of the tower, nursing goblets of warmed wine. Kinney shares my love for our dear Galarian and supports my desire to save its doomed civilizations. The storyteller smiles warmly at the rush of memories. My friend is not like me at all. He's young, hot-tempered, and mischievous. He prefers to act first and deal with the consequences later. Perhaps this is why we get along so well. Opposites attract. Please continue. Finally, my patience is rewarded. I see a slouching demon in rags, so pathetic that even the demon guards of the Lushinra would not lay a hand on him out of disgust. But my spell-enhanced vision can't be fooled. I see the incubus Zephorian, ruler of Lushinra, who answers only to the Lady in Shadow herself. Passing a step away from me, the Zephorian stumbles and falls in a puddle of sewage, rousing disdainful chuckles from the few witnesses. But I won't be fooled by this game. Instead, I concentrate, becoming even more focused. My lord, I've discovered this crystal of unknown power on one of the Midnight Isles. Have a look. A hand holding a heart-sized crystal burning with the purple flame emerges from under the rags. The incubus's hand is shaking, the skin on his palm slightly smoldering from touching the crystal. The demon's reflection in the puddle of sewage ripples and changes. I don't hear Zephorian talking to his mysterious lord. The incubus hides the purple crystal back under the rags. As you wish, my lord. No, Nocticula knows nothing about these crystals, I'm sure. Of course, Lord Sakabenoth, I wince. I have no desire to stand... Of course, Lord... is it Sakothbenoth? That's kind of hard to say. Lord Sakothbenoth, I wince. I have no desire to stand in the way of a demon lord. I turn around. You see, Kinney, we were able to get evidence of Zephorian's treason. I was right, but my friend is nowhere to be seen. Who is Sakothbenoth? Storyteller cringes. Disgusting demon lord, champion of meanness, debauchery, perversions, and breaker of taboos. He is Nocticula's brother and former lover. Out of jealousy, he tried in vain to kill my lady, but he remained alive after the attempt. He is driven by fear, shame, and hatred toward his powerful sister. Please continue. I'm standing at the top of my tower. There's a goblet of warmed wine in my hand. Nocticula was pleased with my raid. Oh no, she won't kill Zephorian on the spot. My lady's punishments are much more sophisticated. Banishing, demotion, even transformations into the pathetic creature the incubus was masquerading as. Nocticula has a lot of choices. I don't care. I've done my part. I sip from my goblet and turn to my friend. Without saying a word, Kinney takes out a rag from under his shirt and shows me the purple crystal wrapped in it. I chuckle. That's where my friend went with the end of the raid. Well, we are going to keep the crystal. I will study its properties in detail and find out if it will help us achieve our goals. Nocticula doesn't have to know that I have the crystal now. Let her look to Zephorian or her demon lord brother for it. I drink from the goblet again and look down. A Lushinra lies at the bottom of the tower like a faithful dog at the feet of its master. I earned respect here. Even the Lady in Shadow heeds my words. I feel a treacherous smile appear on my lips. Of course, when 17 years have passed, I will return to Galarian, but for now, I like my life here. Storyteller is quiet for a long while, thinking about what he saw. Then he runs his hand over his face, tired. I served a demon lord, and what's more, I liked it. I did not expect this for myself. I was completely different thoughts, desires, motives. What made me change so much? I don't know. The storyteller shakes his head ruefully. All right. I've already talked to him about Earthfall. We've already talked about the Ivory Labyrinth too. I think this was just going to go back over what we did. So I think we're going to say thanks for now. And we have to go. All right, guys. And we are over an hour here, which I did not actually intend to go over an hour. I was hoping to get something done quickly here, but that didn't happen. We got a little bit bogged down with the storyteller's new story, which is interesting. He spent time as a, as basically the pet of a major demon lord. That's something in the demon city in the abyss. So, it's not something everybody can say they've done. So interesting stuff. Next episode, I think we're going to duck into the prison, get Arushale out of there, or at least see what's going on. I suspect she's feeling bad about her nightmare, and so she locked herself up just for safekeeping or something. I don't really know. Well, we'll find out though. And then again, we have to look for Forn and see if we can figure out about Kalesa. Not real happy about what happened with Camillia. Sorry. Like I said, she's a strong member of the party. I was not real happy about having to do what I did, but evil is evil, and we don't do that. So we'll move on without her, I guess. So that's going to do it for this episode, though, guys. If you've enjoyed it, do me a big favor, hit that like button for me, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button too. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.